you way too dope, kid.
I've been living around this morning through rain. Hidden pain, hidden tears. Had to keep them locked away. I done shed so many tears. Heal my heart, save my soul. I buried my heart anew. Devil working on my soul, but I'm so blessed. Leave it up to God, so right now I just worry less. Yeah. Heal my heart, save my soul.
Kato, you way too dope, kid.
The pain from my past.
Where you from? Tell us your name.
I'm Dawud Bass. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. Born in Newark. Rep 18th Avenue in Irvington. That's who I am.
What is family life growing up?
Family life growing up, wow, man. My family is the Bass family in Newark, New Jersey. My whole family is like legendary in Newark. During the 60 riot in Newark, everybody know about the Newark 60 riots. My uncle is Joe Bass Jr. That's on the cover of the Life magazine. Joe Bass Jr., he was laying in a puddle of blood on the cover of the Life magazine. That's my uncle. So Google it and the picture come up on there, And so, my family had flack from that. And then here comes my baby uncle, Calvin Bass, Calvin Sal Bass, the first kid in the state of New Jersey to be charged as an adult for a body. He killed the man. He killed the white dude over there by Velsburg Park. So it had a lot of media. It was in the news. The news was in front of our house and everything. You know what I'm saying? My Uncle Sal. So, he was the first kid in Jersey charged as an adult, and he went into Raleigh real young. So he ran Raleigh, the Scared Straight program in Raleigh. And so, just coming up in the family like that, all your uncles selling heroin, selling dope, you know what I mean? You kind of scarred by, by that life, you know what I mean? And my mom had me at 14. She started modeling at 16. And so she had a good modeling career. My mother was on billboards. And, on the weekends, I'd be in New York, in Manhattan, in the Bentley and Rolls Royce. And then my mama dropped me back off Sunday to my grandmother, and I'd be back in Newark while my mom was, in New York with millionaires and shit. So that's how that's how my life is kind of versatile, you know what I mean? My mom was successful, but I was still in the house with my uncle selling drugs and my other uncles getting high, So that taught me at a young age, you know what I mean, that, you want to be on top, you got to be on top by any means necessary, you know what I'm saying?
So what was high school like?
I went to high school in Orlando. My grandmother told my mother, she was like, yo, you got to raise your son. That's not my child, that's your son. So after my mom did her modeling thing, she met my stepfather. They moved to Orlando in '87. So I went to high school in Orlando. I went to Colonial. I went to Winter Park High School. I got kicked out of Winter Park. They sent me to Colonial High School. And, I was in there for a little while. High school was cool. All we did was music. All we did was hip hop. You know what I mean? Everybody knew I was Flavor Unit Woo from Jersey. So we always rapping in the hallways, So high school life was kind of cool. But I got in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I got in trouble. I got locked up. I was in Orlando, JDC. I got flagged out in Statesboro, Georgia, for hustling. And they brought me back to Florida. And my mother told the judge that I'll break his fucking neck. I'll break his fucking neck if you don't do something with him. And the judge was like, we can't let you abuse him, so we're going to put him in foster care. So they took me back to Orlando, JDC, and the social worker came to get me. And the next thing I know, they took me to a couple foster homes I was running away from, like, man, in fucking foster care. And then they sent me to a program in Miami, like Job Corps, a place called Montanari in Hialeah. And I liked it because I had a little Puerto Rican girlfriend, so I completed that program. And then they released me when I was 17. But even when I was in Miami, man, I was running away, stealing cars, going to Kilimanjaro to Jew the Hole over in Liberty City, selling weed on campus. So yeah, that's me. That's a part of me.
So what did you after that? What type of work, legal work, if you did any illegal work, what sort of employment you had?
Shit, after that, man, I came back to Orlando. I met Tamika Beach, became my girlfriend. She was from Queens, New York. And I was working at McDonald's and I was selling weed. Shit, so when I was back in Orlando for like 2 weeks. And I went over to Paramore, got a pound from one of the dreads. And, I was selling weed, working, you know what I mean? And then, that's when Shakim, Naughty by Nature, and them came to the Breakfast Club. And Shakim told my mom, we need to put Wu in the studio. We need to do his album. He got a gift for Mira. And then that's when I went back to Newark.
So how was it in New York when you went back?
How was it in Newark when I went back?
Yes.
It wasn't it wasn't like it was, when we moved, because like before we moved, we was hustling, getting money on 18th Ave and Irvington and everything. And let's get you, I could get money anywhere in Newark because of who my uncles was. My uncle Salim, you know what I mean? And then all my uncles had murder raps and shit. So I got money down the hill, Prince Street Projects, Chancellor Avenue, Hawthorne, 16th Avenue. So I was kind of different. Like, wherever my family was at around Newark and Irvington, I just go everywhere and get money because I was selling weight. And but when I came back, it was different because it was gunplay. So, it wasn't, you could go everywhere and get money and be a fly guy anymore. It was, them Haitians was up in Newark hard, man, you know what I mean? And then, it was clicked up and there was a lot of gunplay, you know what I mean, when I went back. And I was chasing that music with Shakim, man, and, he was giving me a runarounds. And then I said, fuck it, I bought a Big Eighth, I never forget, I bought a Big Eighth. I took the path over New York, A-train uptown, bought 4.5 ounces, and I was like, I'm out. I went to Raleigh, and the rest was good, Yeah, I had a good run in Raleigh.
Yeah, tell us about it.
About Raleigh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was just a different hustle there, man. In Jersey, I was selling $50 clips. That's 10 bottles, the little GP45 bottles, the valves. And if you put 10 bottles with a rubber band, that's called a clip. I was selling $50 clips when niggas would take them across town and make $100 off. I was selling nickel bottles, and they sold my nickel bottles for 10. But in Raleigh, you could take an ounce to Raleigh, an ounce that you paid $600 for uptown, and sell it straight for $1,200. And then if you go to the country part, Apex or Oxford or Smithfield, you could sell that same O for $1,500. So that was a whole different type of money. People was getting rich out there. I was in Raleigh when Biggie and them came through.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you had New York niggas out there, you had Jersey niggas out there, and you had Miami niggas out there. We all was out there getting money, but then we all partied together at the club.
So you partied with?
Junior Mafia? Nah, I didn't know them. I was from Jersey, you know what I'm saying? But me and Biggie, we used to rap against each other when we was in Wake County in Raleigh.
Really?
So yeah, really.
What was he like back then?
I really don't know Biggie. Like, we was in a different block, and we used to break the intercoms. And when you break the intercoms and cross the wires and press the button, you'll end up on a different floor in a different block. And I was known for rapping, you know what I mean? And so niggas used to always be like, yo, Big is here, Woo, you and Big. So like when we go to court and be in the bullpen, everybody from all the different blocks and different wings would be together. And the first time I met Big, he was like going to court, and he was right across from us. And we set it off. He was talking that Brooklyn shit, I was talking that Newark shit. And we stood toe to toe, you know what I mean? We stood toe to toe. That's when, and so when he blew, I was, man. It's like everybody around me blue. Latifah blue. Naughty by Nature blue. You know what I mean? This is my word is born, man. In Newark, we used to go to an underground club called Club Sensations, downtown Newark off of Brantford Place. And in that club, before anybody blew, was Lauryn Hill and the Fugees, was Method Man, Redman, K Solo. You know what I mean? Like everybody that was rapping, you know what I mean, used to be a Club Sensation. And I used to sit in the cell and be like, everybody around me blue. And I'm in this motherfucker. So that's why I just started writing books, scripting my life. Just, you know what I mean? Because everybody blew up. Latifah, Naughty by Nature, the whole Jersey scene, Redman. My cousin Booby, used to fuck with Redman's sister. Redman lived right around, I was staying on 14th Avenue on Grove Street. Redman was right around the corner on South Orange Avenue on 20th Street. His house was right across the street from the graveyard. You know what I mean? And he used to come through with the royal blue Sterling and shit. When he got, put on with the hit squad. It's like everybody around me blue.
Why do you think your career did not take off?
I was locked up from 19 to 31. And, once I came home, my set, Flavor Unit, they was doing movies. They kept telling me, Paul was telling me, it's like, yo, motherfuckers like Redman want Shakim and Latifah, already established artists was wanting my god brother to manage them, but the wave had changed. And a lot of cats that was doing music, because everybody don't have longevity. You know what I'm saying? You have to be swift and changeable like Puff and like Latifah. And they're switching changes, like they change their career or their wave, you know what I mean? And they were going into film. They were doing film, you know what I mean? When I came home, they was doing that shit in Atlanta with Stacey Dash, that TV show they had in Atlanta. So they was doing more film. And I'm like, yo, put my album out, motherfucker, I got a story to tell. And they wasn't on that, you know what I mean? So, and I don't know, man. I had to get the money. I had to have a quality of life.
So what did you do most in the 11 years? You said you spent 11 years in jail, right?
11 and a half years. I wrote books.
Yeah. How many books did you write?
I wrote 60 books. 60 books. My first book I wrote was Brick City Players. I sent it to Holloway House Publishing because I was reading all the Donald Gordon books, and I read that he sent a manuscript to Holloway House back in the day, and they gave him $10,000 to write a book, and that's how he started his career. So I sent my manuscript, and they offered me a deal, but they was like, well, you'll get 50 cents off a book. I was like, hell no, you gonna give me 50 cents off of something I wrote, and you own my rights? Fuck you. But it let me know that I had something. For them to offer me a deal and let me know that I had something. So I was like, I'm gonna write more books than Donald Gordon. And then I had the Holloway House poster with their whole catalog. And I was like, I'm gonna write more books than on their whole catalog. So Brick City Players became a 20-book series, And then I just said, I have to go out of my element, you know what I'm saying? Because I kept writing the gangster shit, the up top gangster shit. So then I started writing other stories with different scenes, just doing research, then I started writing other books with different series. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck Stephen King. I'm about to write some shit better than him. You know what I'm saying? I wrote some gruesome shit better than him, about serial killers and shit like that. So that's how I ended up, just competitiveness, that's how I ended up writing 60 books.
Which one of your books had the most success?
You could say Chocolate Love. I wrote Chocolate Love for Queen Latifah. I thought that they was gonna make that a movie. So that book made noise, but it never came to the light. I got some money off of it, but it never, went to the next level, which I thought that it would. But it helped me, financially start my taxi company. So, yeah.
What is the most important lesson you learned in jail?
I like women. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can jack your dick but so much, you know what I mean? And it used to bother me not to be able to go home or you know, be with my girlfriend or whatever. That shit, like I didn't like being around a bunch of fucking men. I like women, you know what I'm saying? So that I used to be like, man, I ain't never coming back to this motherfucker. And you know, just around a bunch of ignorant motherfuckers, because people don't change. Some people don't change when they're in prison. But you can. Like, prison, like I said, like, I'm not glad I did a lot of time, but if I would have got out in like 4 or 5 years, I would have went back to hustling. But like my 7th year, I looked in the mirror and seen, I'm like, damn, I'm getting old in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I said, man, fuck this. Ain't no pussy in here, ain't no money in here. I ain't never coming. So that's when, after my 7th year, my mind was straight narrow. You know, I blow a nigga up and go to the Bing and write my books, but I wasn't trying to get in trouble. I wasn't an ignorant motherfucker no more. I wasn't on no rah-rah shit no more. I wanted to go home. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, judge gave me 20 years, so I was always with lifers. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and I was locked up with my man Roughneck from the MC Light Roughneck video, the bald head kid with all the gold teeth, Sean Mitchell. And me and Sean, we was on in the streets in Raleigh together, you know what I mean? Not together, but my cousin Estos, the graffiti artist from the Bronx, he was down there doing a backdrop on Club Hollywood, a mural on Club Hollywood on back wall, and he introduced me to Roughneck. And you know, at that time, the MC Light video was out. You know, he was real popular and shit. They was out there getting money. And Tupac, Glenda and them from Club Hollywood, and that's she brought down DJ Lovebug Starsky to DJ that night. She brought down Tupac. And I had already met Tupac in Jersey because, you know, he used to be in Jersey with Tretch and everybody. And so when Tupac came and shit, he seen me, and I was with all my people from 18th Avenue, you know, we pro flavor unit, you know what I mean? And so my man Video, Bonita, Rasul, all us was there. So like when Tupac seen me, he was like, yo, whoa, yo. I could see like, cause he was like cuffing his Rolex, but you know what I mean? He wasn't comfortable cause he wasn't with his people. But soon, like the stories you hear about him, like he's like night and day, soon as he seen all of us there, then he turned on some rah-rah shit. Because he felt like, you know what I mean, he was with, and he know we had them toasters, you know what I mean? And, but my man Roughneck was like, yo, Woo, bring that nigga outside. I was like, please, no. He's like, that nigga got the Rolex, bring that nigga outside, Woo. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not bringing him outside. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing to this nigga. And it looked like I set him up. You know, so all the shit that, you know, went on, like everything went on, you know, once we was locked up. And me and Ruff, you know, we was at a couple prison camps together. He like when they hit him up the first time, it's like, see, niggas, you should have brought him outside. Niggas hit him up, you know, and then, you know, that was kind of crazy, man, you know, at that time. And but it taught me a lot. It taught me a life lesson. You know what I'm saying? And I seen a lot, man. I saved Tupac's life. He could have got killed that night. And that's why I tell you about my life. Like, I've been around so many motherfuckers that blew up. You know what I mean? So many heavy motherfuckers. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I remember, like, I be in the bullpen going to court and Biggie come, yo, whoa, let's ride. What's up, nigga? What you got for me, baby? And then this nigga go home and become a star, like a nigga I met in jail, right? It's like, that's why I was like, man, I'm marked for stardom. Like, every fucking body I meet, blue. I'm locked up with 20 years for trafficking and Big come through there. And then, remember, he's not Big. You know, he's not Big the rapper. And then he gets out, and then immediately after he gets out, it's like in the movie, immediately after he get out, cause he go back, you know, to Puff, and he's like, yo, Puff, I'm gonna take this deal, fuck that, you know what I mean? And he blow, and I'm hearing this nigga on the radio, so it's crazy, man. So, you know, just being surrounded by so many motherfuckers blue, it gave me motivation to write my books. You know what I'm saying? Because I just felt that when I came home, you know, that Latifah and them was gonna make a movie out of my book Chocolate Love, and you know, I was gonna get the bag and I was gonna do music, you know, with them and, you know, be with my people, man. But life is life, man. You know what I'm saying?
So how did you feel when you found out that you were not doing the 20 years, you're actually going to get out early? How did you feel at that time?
Well, at that time, it was under the old law. So if you had 20, they cut it in half with 10 years good time. But if you start getting in trouble, they start knocking your good time away. It wasn't 85% then.
Okay.
So I maxed out. I ended up doing 11 and a half years, you know, because, you know, I was knocking out COs, you know what I mean? I told you, man, I wrote, everybody I ran with was all lifers. Von Perignon, you know what I mean? Jihad Malik, my man Big O, Ernest King, my man Vidal Green, NYC Chuck, you know. Everybody I fuck with was lifers. So, you know, they kind of encouraged me to keep doing what I'm doing because I was like a young wild one, you know what I mean? And they was like, nah, well, you could see the end of the tunnel. We can't. We ain't never fucking getting out. You could go home. Stop all this. Every time a motherfucker say something to you, you don't got to strap up. Motherfucker, go home. Go home to your motherfucking family. You got a chance. You know too many motherfuckers in the industry. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Big in them, you know, Latifah in them, and you nice. Like, you could really fucking rap, nigga. You nice. Go home and get the bag. You know what I mean? So, you know, they help, you know, my circle, you know, when I was incarcerated, like niggas, you know, they really pushed me to concentrate on my career, concentrate on my writing and my music and my plans, you know, because they was like, man, we gonna live through you, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that's I had to get my shit together. I had to get my mind right, you know.
So how did you use that experience once you got out?
Man, it was just my motivation, man. Like, once I got out, number one, I never sell drugs again and get the fast money again because I did 11 and a half years, you know what I'm saying? And like I told you, if I would have got out early, I would have went back to selling drugs. But by me doing so much time and being around cats that was never getting out and coming home, you know, it just changed my outlook on life, you know. I came home, I was home 2 days. My second day home, I had a job. You know what I mean? And then that following Monday, I had another job. And so I tell people, and the best thing that I tell a lot of young girls is lose yourself in work. If you lose yourself in work, you don't got time to get in trouble. If you at the bottom and you don't have nothing, if you lose yourself in work, you only gonna come up. Because one job is gonna pay your bills, and the other job, you're gonna stack that money and bank it. That's gonna be to help you invest in something you wanna do for yourself, your own business. And that's how I played it. That's how I did it. I was making all that money in transportation. You know, one of the jobs paid all my bills, and the other one, I just banked it. Yeah.
So what are you doing now?
I own a taxi company, you know. I started my taxi company here in St. Augustine in 2012. I went from one car, went to the auction, got 3. You know, God bless the dead, my man Don, which was friends with the Cocaine Cowboys, Don from Brooklyn, New York. You know what I mean? He seen what I was doing and he gave me a push. You know what I'm saying? And may he rest in peace. He came through, bought me 3 taxis. Well, I had 1 taxi. He came through, bought me 3 taxis. And I gave him the money back. Like, he was my partner. We thought we was gonna have a big taxi company, you know. Bought me 3 taxis, gave me a push, you know what I'm saying? And we was in it together, but he was dying from cancer. And he was like, nah, well, I just want you to keep going. You don't owe me no more money. You done gave me my money back double, you know what I'm saying? He said, I just want to see you successful, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget my man Don, you know, he was cool with the Cocaine Cowboys out of Miami. He was from Brooklyn, Jamaican dude. He died from cancer. And but I helped him fulfill all his last wishes. He wanted to take his granddaughter to Las Vegas. I gave him some paper. He went out there, you know, and when he got back, he died. You know what I mean? But he was a big inspiration to me because he was a big money getter. He used to fuck with Puff, everybody, you know. And we was gonna do something on the media, on the music side, but we never got to that. But we did, you know, he gave me a push with the taxi company. And then, you know, when he died, I kept going to auction, buying more cars. I had 14 taxis. Then Uber came. You know, a lot of the workers started driving their own cars. I had cars sitting, you know. I had to bite my pride and take the insurance off the cars and turn the license plates in. You know what I'm saying? I still got 6 cars, you know. But it was just a life experience. And I'm doing everything legally, you know. And I've been independently, you know, moving my books through Amazon, you know, pushing ebooks, selling the PDF file over and over, you know, because you don't have to pay to get them printed up. So, you know, you just selling the PDF file over and over. That's free money to me. So that's what I've been doing, man.
So what is family life now?
Oh, man, family life is beautiful, man. I got 3 beautiful kids, man. These are my kids. I got 3 beautiful kids. And that's my inspiration, man. Their quality of life. That's why, you know, when I had my son, man, I stepped back away from me, you know, because I was managing rap artists, you know, still around the rappers. But, you know, them little cats, they sell drugs, they have guns, you know. So I shut my studio down. I had built the studio in Palm Coast from the ground up, put $16,000 in it. And one day, my son, he would be, you know, out in the, you know, just like out there, you know, he'd be out there watching this little thing, but he'd grab his blanket and come lay between my legs and go to sleep. And he was down to go to sleep, and I had the rapper Trail Will and Wop Gully, you know, they was in, and they was rolling up. And one of them lit it. And when they left, I said, yo, what you doing? Like, don't do that shit in front of my son, man. You ain't even supposed to be smoking in here. And that's when I decided, just right then and there, I said, I'm about to close this shit down. I'm about to go back and transport. I can't have this shit around my fucking son. You know what I'm saying? I can't have no weed and drugs and guns and shit around my baby. My baby's sleeping right between my legs. So my son made me become I was already doing the right thing, but my son made me, you know, made me get off the music shit, the studio shit, to give him a good quality of life, because I was aware of my surroundings. I didn't want that shit around my child. So that's when I just, you know, went into the transportation thing hard.
Do you consider yourself lucky?
I don't consider myself lucky. I consider myself a man, and a man that does what he has to do. My thing is not to give my kids life, but to give them a quality of life that they deserve. I tell my kids all the time, yo, we could be in a little $700 fucking apartment, you know, and I could have me a little fucking putt-putt, you know, and that could be our life, you know. But I want to give you a quality of life. My kids go to Christian prep school, all 3 of them. I pay for my kids to go to school, $3,800, you know what I'm saying? And, no, $38,000 a year per kid, you know? And I tell them, I want you to have a quality of life. I want you guys to go to college and have a better life than I had, because I just want to give them a chance. I want to give them the opportunity, you know? So I bust my ass and work so hard, and that's why I've been putting me on the back burner. But now I got a budget, so, you know, my media group is going to do some things this year.
So what's the plan for your media group?
Oh, man, you know, my plan is, you know, as I open up this new studio, you know, I'm coming with a reality show. I'm going to bring a couple, you know, poor kids, some kids from Micronesia that's doing music. I'm going to bring them to the United States and give them an opportunity where they can have a real opportunity to go, you know, with their career. And I want their country and all their friends and everybody back home to follow their life. I just want to help somebody. I want to help some people and make their dreams come true, because mine didn't. And I want to snatch them before they feel like they have to go sell drugs, do something wrong, like I did when I couldn't get on. And that's it, man. You know, just want to help them have a quality of life, and we create some good music together. And I want it to be documented, so with a reality show, so everybody could see what's going on. That's my goal.
So in closing, what would you like to leave with?
Oh man, I would like to thank the country of Micronesia for producing my beautiful wife. I have a beautiful wife. My wife is from Micronesia, Pompeii, Micronesia, and she humbly taught me so many things. She's a little bit older than me, but just their culture and their lifestyle, like their family really love each other. Their country really love each other. They don't even know each other, but they're Micronesian. They love one another wholeheartedly, and it's not like that here in the States. And I've really embraced their culture and their life, a part of my life, because my kids half Micronesian. And I just like to thank my wife, and I like to thank the country that produced her, and just let them know that, you know, my wife, you know, she's been telling me some things that she want to do for her country, and I'm going to help her, you know, do a couple of things to produce jobs for the people back in her country where she's from. You know, we got a couple things going on, but I'm going to bring my wife job agency into existence this year, you know, just for Micronesians. And I'm going to, you know, be on their music side. I'm going to upgrade their music scene. I'm going to upgrade their videos and their music scene and bring them to the level of the quality that we have in the United States. That's my mission, that's my focus, and that's what I'm going to do.
All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome, brother. Peace and blessings.
Beautiful.